cabinet. It's the Inset Snow White from RTA Wholesalers. You see I've got the top drawer open and the bottom door open. The little blue tape, I'll explain that later. So I'm just going to walk in, a little bit of a close-up, give these a little push. And there's your soft close, and we'll talk about the adjustments and all the hinges and all that stuff as we go, but this is, again, your little sneak peek. Close this up, and there you go. Okay, stay tuned for the step-by-step. Okay, we're going to start the installation. The tools I'm going to be using are the drill, and that's for pilot holes. I believe I have a 3/64 inch bit. I think that's 3 millimeters. A regular Phillips screwdriver. This little broken thing here is actually a popsicle stick. You'll see why that is later. And some painter's tape. And these are the only tools I use to assemble this cabinet. Okay, we're going to get this drawer put together so when we're doing the final assembly we won't have to wait for this to dry. So you've seen 100 videos probably like this. We're just going to go a little bit of wood glue into the joints. They fit really snug. I've already dry fit them. I mean, they fit really snug. But we're going to do a little extra glue. And then I have a cloth we'll use to wipe up any excess. All right. And then the other thing is, you can choose to have this Maplesville toward the inside front where you're seeing it more, but if you really don't want to see it, you actually could flip these pieces and put it toward the back where you would rarely see it. So we decided that we're going to put it in the front position. So I'm just going to align these. Of course, you watch the groove. I'm just going to get these started, and then we're going to use my little hammer to push them into place. Okay, here you go. So we got all the grooves lined up. All right. All right. Okay, so I can pretty much get these in just with my own pressure. But if you need to do a little tapping, and I did the first time, so just to show you how we do it, or how we've decided to do it, is, you know, this is really your best friend. Just a little shop towel, little rag, put it up against here, scrap piece of wood up against here, little rubber mallet if you have it or not, little small hammer. You're just getting a little tap. Just tapping it in, just setting it up. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Just, I want to emphasize that patience is going to be your best friend here. There's just no rush. I mean, okay, so those are in good. Get my glue bottle out. Get the panel in. So slide down. There's no reason to glue this panel. It'll actually become more secure when you put the drawer glides on. I'll show you that later. But panel's in. Bottom's still good. Little glue here. Just a little bit. And then of course your groove here, so we're just straight over. Okay, in. Again, I'm going to use my hands first. All right, that's most of it right there. If you need the extra tap, go ahead. wet rag. Just a final little tap tap. Okay, wiping off glue. Don't forget the insides. And we're going to give this a full 24 hours to set up, but you don't have to wait that long. All right, looks like this could maybe use a little bit of extra tap on the bottom. All right, I think that looks nice and flush. Maplesville there on the inside. All right, we'll let this set up. Thank you. Okay, we're back. It's the next day for us, just a couple seconds for you. And you can see our drawer here is setting kind of normally. Maplesville again on the inside. Dovetails are dried. If they're too rough or a little rough, you could always get a little sanding, but these are fine. I wiped them last time, with the rag. So now what we're going to do is put the bumpers on before we flip it over. So let me zoom in on that if I can. And let me just show you, look how hefty these bumpers are. I mean, how often do you see the little installation videos where people just peel them off a piece of paper and put them on there? These actually require you to get into this hole and kind of twist them into place. And it's going to take me a few seconds because I'm working upside down. So I'm going to just pause the video until I get them into place. Okay, so we got the bumpers in. And now what I'm going to do is simply flip the door. Jesus, I don't say that every time. Drawer. I'm going to flip the drawer over so that the face is away from me. Okay? The face is away from me. And now we're simply going to put on the glides. So like I said yesterday, they're marked left and right. But the key is just getting them into the corners. You're just getting them into the corners nice and tight. Okay? Then you're going to take your pencil. You're going to mark your holes. Mark your holes. Don't worry about the ones on the drawer bottom. Just mark the ones up here. Okay? Mark your holes. Pull your glides back. Okay. Using now your drill. I believe this is a 3/64 drill bit. I've already done this. I've already drilled these, prior. But just to show you how I did it, again, using your handy rag. You don't want to mar up the surface of your face plate there. So you just basically got your holes. Zing, 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 zing. Okay, you got your 4 holes started. And now you're going to put your glides in place. Now, here's a little pro tip, at least what I'm going to call a pro tip. I like using manual screwdriver. I don't like the power screwdriver because I don't really feel the resistance. So I'm going to get these started. I just don't mind the extra couple seconds it takes to put these in. I just like to feel the screw going into the wood. Okay, right to right. And then I'm just going to get them nice and snug. I'm just going to protect my faceplate there with my finger. Nice and snug. Snug. And snug. All right, now it's just a matter of taking these last 4 little screws and securing them to the bottom of the drawer. Okay, this is going to be a close-up of the slides and the whatever those mechanisms are called that go under the drawer and onto the slides. But just to give you a close up, just to kind of give you the overall, you can see they go right up into the corners, all the way up flush, and then the circle, or zoom I should say, in. You've got 2 screws that mount into the drawer bottom, and then these 2 go into the base or the frame of the actual door. And it's just the same on both sides. They are marked left and right, R and L, of course. And the way I just remembered how to do it was when the door's in this position, is in this position, the right one goes on the right side and the left one goes on the left side. But more importantly, once you put them into the corners like this, there's really only one way that they'll work. And then we'll talk about these adjustments later, these little adjustments that help you, align the door. And so that's a little bit of a tips and tricks that'll be coming up toward the end. All right, there you go. Okay, we're going to start doing some pieces now so that when we do our assembly, we'll have them ready to go. Let me call your attention over here. You saw this blue tape. This is because we don't have a pull yet on the door. And to get the door open from the outside to make your adjustments, you need a way to open the door without marring it up. So this is just the painter's tape, blue tape, doubled over, and we'll show you this. I will recommend when you take this off, obviously be gentle. If you want to be super gentle, get your hairdryer out, give it a slow heat to pull it off there. But we're trying to protect the surfaces, right? So you can notice here the bumpers are in here. The 2 bumpers are in. Just put those in. And this hinge is already in. But I'm going to show you how easy this is next by using this one here. These holes are pre-drilled, so there's no way to mess this up. It's simply take the hinge, push it into the hole, and you're totally aligned. Again, using your Phillips screwdriver. I prefer, again, the hand, just to do it by hand. You're simply going to tighten the screws. I tend to do that one snug, or not quite snug, then come back and do this one all the way. Just hand tight. You'll feel it. Hand tight. Now the door is ready when we get to that point, and that's all we need to do for this. Okay, now we're into the main event. This is the sides on the left side, middle, right side, doesn't matter. We actually found, for us, it's easier to assemble it upside down. So I'll show you that, how we do it. You can see we're working on a table, so we're already kind of up off the ground. So we need to prep the sides. So what you have here are your cams and your locks, or pins and cam locks. I'm not sure of the technical terms, but you can see they're threaded, and the black plastic, and then the head, and then you see the cam lock, and this is important. You see the arrow there. See the arrow? Okay, so let me explain this. When you put the pins in, again, I prefer to do them by hand. There's a plastic liner inside here. It's kind of hard to see. I've already got the pin in here, but there's a plastic liner. So you're putting this pin in plastic that's inside the wood. So I think that's keep it more stable, keep it from fraying the wood. So you're taking your screwdriver. And you're just tightening this to the point where the black touches the top. In other words, you're just burying all the threads. Once the threads are buried, that's as far as you got to go. That's all you got to do. So I got one here, and then if you look down here to where the kick plate actually is, you see the arrow. The way to set these cams up, I like to put them in first, and you take the arrow and face it toward where the pin is going to come in. The pin's going to come in this way, and then the cam lock grabs it, and you rotate the cam lock 180 degrees to the screw arrow is all the way 180 degrees from where it started. So that's the locked position. This is the open position. Okay, so we've put cam lock in here, cam lock in here. Center panel has, or the back panel, sorry, the back panel has nothing except for the door glide, you know, whatever you want to call these things, hinges or whatnot. And these are, again, easy to install. You have two holes here that are already, not holes, but pegs, if you will, that go into the holes. There's no way to mess this up. It goes straight in. There's no guessing. It's aligned. You don't even have to mark your holes at this point. The holes are fixed. So a little drill, zoop, zoop. And you're going to use the two outside holes, not the middle holes. So the outside holes get screwed in. And then this slides over, so it gives you plenty of room to work on this one. Again, just give yourself a little pilot hole. Get your screw in. Boom. And the screw will actually recess down so this can slide freely now. If I'm not mistaken, you're pretty much going to be all the way to the end, but we make that adjustment when we put the glides in. So you can, doesn't matter where these are, it's fine. Okay, now we're back to this other panel. Again, arrow out, arrow out, arrow out, and then two pins in and in. And then the last thing you didn't see or can't see yet, which we'll be getting to, this is the kick plate, front of the kick plate. Again, two pins in, and then they will actually go in here. So what we're going to do is assemble this upside down. And the reason why we do it upside down is because we want access to the cams, which you couldn't see before, right? Here's 4 more cams. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, facing out. So when we do this upside down, the cams are easy to get to. Okay, they're just straight. So what we're going to do is pause the video, rough the sides in, and then we're just going to do our tightening. Okay, so we've turned this upside down. We've put this side in. I've turned the cams. So that's all good. And just to show you, this is a very simple slide in. Now it's a little bit rickety because of I got it sitting on a piece of this felt here, but just push it in, holes line up. Got to make sure you're not pinching your fabric down here. That's just because I'm protecting my table. Okay, punch it in. You can see that it's aligned. The grooves are all good. And then I'm going to take my cams, turn them out, 180 degrees. There you go, in. Now, next thing I'm going to do is come to the front. All right, and I have the interior bottom. Oh, that's the shelf, sorry. Interior bottom is here. This is your inside. Simply slides in the grooves. Oh, no, I've got them a little angled out. That's normal. That's okay. Line them up. Slides in. Okay, let me take you to the back again. There will be a pre-drilled hole here. They provide the screw. I did a little pilot hole previously. Get that started. Okay, I'm just going to get that started for now. Okay, so that gives us everything except for the faceplate and the toe kick. So we're going to do the toe kick now. Even though it's going to be, I need to get a stool. Sorry about that. Pause. Okay, sorry. I could get this in, but I couldn't. Well, I'm not tall enough to reach the actual cam locks. So again, we're coming inside. We got the cam screw facing out. Now we're going to go 180 degrees. All right, that locked it. And here we go again. And locked. Okay. Okay, now we're going to pause the video. Okay, to my right here, we have the cabinet upright, and the glide brackets are in place. This is the face plate, face frame. I've also got my screws in, same as before, 1, 2, 3, 4, hand tight, just down to the edge. So now we're going to assemble this upright, which means we're just going to take the glide, we're just going to take the, not the glide, sorry, the faceplate, put the holes in. Okay, and you'll feel it getting into the grooves. You'll feel it very simply into the grooves, and then it's just the same process of your screwdriver, taking your cams 180 degrees. And over here, and over here. Boom. Okay, there you go. Everything now is one unit. Very good. Okay, let's move right into the drawer glides. Okay, there is obviously a left and a right because of the way the glides are. You'll figure it out. It's pretty simple. Okay. So these are going to go into the brackets. They're going to slide onto the bracket. Now again, kind of be a little careful here. Don't want to get too crazy, right? So we're going to be a little careful. We'll put this in the bracket. It goes into the glide, and you push it all the way to the back, all the way to the back, all the way to the back. And what that's going to give you then, come up front, please, with the camera. What this is going to give you up front then is your position for this. Now these holes are not pre-drilled, but it's very simple. This glide rests directly on the face frame. So wherever this is, boom, boom, there you go. So those have already been, I already pre-drilled those. I'm just going to simply screw them together. There's no guesswork. Just put it straight in. 1 and 2. And we'll go do the other side. Same process. Take the glide. It's going to go straight in. Again, this piece here comes right into here. Slide it all the way back, all the way back. Again, you see my holes are already there where they were before. And this will rest not quite in the middle of this piece of wood here, but darn close. And again, took my drill, zoop, zoop, a couple starter holes. And we're going to finish this off. Again, just going to be very slow, very careful. Don't want to, especially because I'm working left-handed here, don't want to mar anything up. Okay, you can back up. They get the idea. Okay, just snug, just snug. And here we go. Okay, now we've already got our door put together. Pull the glides out. There'll be a little resistance because of the soft close. Pull the glides out. Okay, you bring the door over, and you have these pieces here. These are your release pieces on each side. So all we're going to do, oh, you know what I just did? Look what I did. I put them on upside down. Look, I put the glides in upside down because this is the track. Easy mistake to make. I'm going to pause the video and reverse these glides. Okay, turns out I was wrong. The glides are on correctly. Where I got confused is I saw this track and I was thinking the glide went in the track, but that's incorrect. I had it right the first time. So what you're going to do is take your drawer and see these pieces here. These pieces here actually go on top of the glides. Okay. And then when you push the drawer in, what happens is they align with the glides and they snap into place. You hear them click, boom, there you go. Click, boom. Okay, now there's your full extension, and there's your close. And it's going to be a little offline here because of, you know, the maintenance, and there are some adjustments you can make to make this better. I'm going to go over those just briefly. We had this aligned in the first shot you saw, but now that we've redone this, it's going to have to be recalibrated. So you're going to want to reach under here, pull it out. You don't want to mar your surface. But on your glides, you've got 3 adjustments on each side, up, down, left, right. It'd be impossible for me to tell you how to do this. It's just trial and error, but you will eventually get it so that you have about a 1/8 inch reveal all the way around the cabinet. You just make those adjustments. So it'll kind of end up, you know, wherever. That's not important. You'll get there. It's a little patience. It's a little trial and error. Not a problem. Okay, so here we are basically near the last step. That is our door and hinges. Remember, we put the door and hinges together. There's only one real important part for this. And then my secret weapon, the popsicle stick that I mentioned up front, is very important because it acts as a spacer when you put the door on. Now, I'm going to show you this because we've already drilled these holes here and here for each hinge because we dry fit this. But what you're going to see here is a little mark on this face frame, and that mark is from this hinge piece right here. This piece right here is going to lip around that face plate, and that's how you know where to put it. This little lip right here. So when you bring your door frame up here and you use your popsicle stick, we found that to be a good indication of where to go. What you're going to do is you're going to take this, I don't know if you can see that, but this little catcher is going to go right to the edge of that frame. See, right? You're going to feel it right to the edge of that frame. And once that thing catches, that's where you put your screws. So we did our same thing before, and this is going to give us a very good starting point on our adjustments. So we're going to put the screws on. Oh, see, it's easy to get off your stick. So be patient. And I'm working kind of left-handed here, and we're trying to run the camera. Before we had both of us holding it. But you'll see. Here we go. Get that started. All right, that's good. That's a good start. Okay. All right, I'm going to come down to the bottom. Again, you'll see that this little lip catcher will be on the edge, right on the edge. Right there, right there, right there. Okay, now. You don't have to be perfect with this because you have a 6-way adjustment. We just found that using that popsicle stick gave us a good starting point. Okay, and then I got 2 more screws to make it good. I'd recommend marking your holes first and then drilling them, not trying to drill through your hinge. That's up to you, of course. But that's how we did it. We marked all 4 of them, and then we did our pilot holes. Then we came back and did exactly what I'm showing you here. Okay, so then take your stick out. It's not going to be perfect. It's just a starting point. Now you're going to use your tape because you need a way to grab the door. And then there goes your soft close. Okay, now I'm going to be the first to tell you that's not perfect. This is not perfect, but you can adjust those with the hinges. And you saw the first video, the introductory video, and they were pretty darn close from our adjustments. So there you go. That will adjust as you adjust. So here's your open. Here's your open. Here's your close. There's your close. Make your final adjustments, which I probably wouldn't do, honestly, until I had the cabinet actually in place, because it's gonna move around. This is just the assembly. The only thing we didn't do on this cabinet, I did tighten up that back screw, by the way, on the bottom shelf or bottom piece. The only thing I haven't done, and don't think we need to really review this, but you get 4 of these corner brackets, and these corner brackets go, as you would expect, up in the corners on the inside, and they just help keep it true. They go up like this. It's just that I'm going to have to bring the cabinet down in order to do that, and I'm going to do it later. I mean, you get the idea. So once these corner bracket goes in, I call this your basic assembly. I'm going to be putting up another video. I'm going to call it advanced assembly. It's optional. It's up to you if you want to do it that way. It's the way I think I'm going to want to do it, but that's just me. Otherwise, this cabinet could be set into place, could be secured with the other cabinets, countertop put on, and then you come back and make your door adjustments. That's it. So, thanks for watching. Okay, we neglected to show you the putting into the shelf. It's so easy and basic. I don't even think I need to shoot this, but I'm just going to show you. You get 4 of these little pins, and you'll notice that they're plastic and then flat, and then the pins, of course, go into the holes. You're going to pick where you want it. Again, I wouldn't do this until after you had your cabinet already in place. You can decide where you need it. But just for sake of completing the video, I'm going to pause, put the pins in, put the shelf in. I will show you this, though, about the shelf. It's very nice. This shelf is finished on all 4 sides. Okay, we've got the shelf in. I'm going to open the door for you. And we just decided to put it in the middle for this demonstration purposes. One thing I will tell you, if you choose to use the top hole, which brings the shelf up higher, you're going to want to angle the shelf this way so that you're not hitting the hinge. But if you go in the middle, it's fine. So there you go. There's your shelf. Nice and solid, sitting on the pins. Close the door. Ignore the fact that it still needs a little bit of an adjustment. But it's on here. It's not rubbing. It's good until we get the cabinet in its final location. Toe kick will be covered, obviously. I think I mentioned before, any exposed panel or side should have a skin on it. Ours will have a skin on actually this side over here. This will be up against our sink cabinet, so it'll, you won't even see it. So we're going to order the panel for the side. So